I'm joined now by CRTV's Jon Miller. He's the host of the White House Review. I wouldn't say you're a great friend of the show, but
I wouldn't say you're a great friend either, because you got the name. It's White House Brief, not White House Review. So much great friends here.
It's not a very memorable show, to be frank.
Likewise, my friend.
Anyway, thank you for coming on, I guess. I wanted to have you on to talk about the meeting in Helsinki, the meeting between President Trump and Putin, where we were finally going to come to the conclusion, is Trump, in fact, in the pocket of Putin? What is the consensus?
Well, the consensus is that he absolutely is, even though she has no evidence. Nancy Pelosi is out there saying that Putin has something on Trump. I mean, it's so irresponsible for a member of Congress to suggest that Putin has dirt on Trump. She has no evidence to prove that, and yet she's going around saying that the reason why Trump didn't on the world stage want to sit and tell Putin, hey, Putin, you are a liar and you have been meddling in our elections, is because Putin apparently has something on Trump. I mean, the whole idea, first of all, the same people who didn't want Trump to have the meeting in the first place, who said, oh, Trump shouldn't even be talking to Putin, now all of a sudden wanted Trump to sit there and stick it to Putin in front of the entire world. Their narrative makes absolutely no sense. They are just anything Trump does, they're going to oppose. And we should recognize it as that. Now, I watched the summit and I said, okay, there's some things I liked, some things I didn't love so much. But the overblown reaction by the media always has to make you come to the defense of the president, because it's just so outrageous and hyperbolic. Yeah,
it is as though, I always say this, it's like the left is actually being funded secretly by some right-wing George Soros character.
Right, because they're just doing us so many favors.
Yeah, so the main controversy, of course, is over Trump not sufficiently, or even actually not at all, rebuking Putin in a public and face-to-face way for allegedly meddling in the election. And I shouldn't even say allegedly at this point, right? Because our intelligence agencies have confirmed that there was a national Russian effort. It wasn't there to affect the election.
Correct. And all of our intelligence guys say that there was actually meddling in our election. Now, I should add that the meddling that they're talking about, they didn't go into our voting booths and, change votes. Most of it, they did hack, allegedly, according to reports, the DNC, Hillary Clinton's campaign, but they didn't go, and then there was a lot of disinformation that they spread through Facebook and posts, but they didn't, rig votes, and they didn't, actually change votes. So Americans still went to the polls and voted for whomever they wanted to vote for. So I think that we need to clear that up as to what kind of meddling went on. But yes, and then Trump at the summit did not rebuke Putin.
A factor in all of this, especially from a Trump supporter's perspective, is we have seen in recent days and really in the last year or so, that our intelligence community isn't just an intelligence community, that it is, to a degree we don't even know yet, incredibly partisan. And it's like a government funded activist organization, and that's the way it behaved in 2016 in particular. We have evidence that our own intelligence community tried to meddle with our election every bit as much, in fact more probably, than Putin would.
Than the Russians.
Isn't that crazy?
You're entirely right. And we have, not only are they a political activist organization, but they have the tools of an intelligence agency. So it's really dangerous because they are able to get information that most political organizations wouldn't have. So it's really dangerous. And I would argue that it's almost more dangerous than what the Russians are doing, because again, the Russians, there was a disinformation campaign, but at the end of the day, there's no way to quantify the votes that they changed on this election. Yeah. But I think that you're right in saying that we have a very dangerous problem with this hyper partisan intelligence community, and like you said, we don't even know how stacked it is with political operatives.
All we know is the tip of the iceberg, and it's one ugly tip. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking particularly of Strzok. I mean, what a contemptuous person.
Yeah, I mean, and you saw. I mean, everyone saw the testimony, so we don't have to review how nasty, how smug he was. But the notion that he said, "I'm going to stop Donald Trump from being president," because the question is not about his bias; it's about the fact that he pledged to stop Donald Trump from being president, and then signed off on the memo beginning the Mueller investigation. Yeah. I mean, if you don't see a connection there, I don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah. So one last thing I wanted to get your insight on. The American political left throughout the Cold War, these were during decades when Russia represented very clearly an evil ideology that had overt aims to subjugate the world, to enslave entire peoples, including the U.S. During that time, the left would go after anyone who treated Russia as a dangerous enemy. The left's general posture was one of appeasement and of playing nice with Russia during the time when people were being slaughtered en masse by Russia in gulags, and when Russia was actually aiming to take over the U.S. government. Their new act of playing tough against Russia disgusts me. Isn't it kind of a grotesque insult, as I said online, to the victims of communism that the left actually left dead with no memorial during the Cold War?
Yeah, and I think that they have no moral compass on this. They have no political compass on this. I think that their aim with this is whatever Trump does, they're going to oppose it. And it doesn't matter because their ideology has no consistency. So, during the Cold War, it was an attitude of appeasement. Now they want to be more hawkish than ever. It makes absolutely no sense. And so, I don't want to always come to Trump's defense, but I have to imagine that the only thing guiding them on this is their rabid opposition to the president.
Yeah, it's sad stuff. And there are reasons behind that. We'll get into that next time you come on. Meantime, would you tell our viewers how to find your excellent work?
Yeah, I'm everywhere. So, you don't even have to look for it. It will come to you. But if you want, you can go to facebook.com/MillerStream. That's my Facebook page. And you can also go to CRTV.com and you can watch the White House Brief there. I'm also on Twitter at MillerStream. So that's how you can find my work, and you won't be disappointed.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much again, Jon, for coming on. I look forward to having you on again soon.
Thanks, Stephen.